Alrighty. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another stream. Welcome back to another video. And it's Thai Talks CFC or Thai Talks Chelsea Football Club. Back with another stream where, as you see in the title, I will be discussing with the help of some of you guys being guests, giving me your thoughts. While we'll have a discussion about the players that Chelsea need to go forward and to become the team that we like to see and the team that will be challenging for years to come. But I'm gonna take this time before I do anything further to tell you to help the channel grow, subscribe and smash the like button if you haven't already. You know, I love to say this now, so it's gonna be like my catchphrase. The like button, when you click it, turns blue. And if you're a Chelsea fan, you should love the color blue because blue is a color. So, just hit that button. And, if you haven't clicked the notification bell, just click it. It's free. It'll just take you like 5 seconds. If you're on a phone, just scroll down, just click the notification bell. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe as well. It's free. It's no pricing there. You just click it and you just get the notification and you'll know when I'll do these streams. So I'm joined here with Lookman. Hopefully there won't be any issue when I add him. So welcome to the stream, Lookman.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Yeah, well, I'm doing okay. I was on another stream. They were talking about the Euros and the team of the tournament and everything. So I nearly missed the stream. So yeah, but yeah, I'm good. How are you doing?
The topic is who the Chelsea really needs to sign, right?
Yeah, and before I let you go, I'm gonna specify because I think some people might interpret it the wrong way. But what I'm saying is, you're linked with you're linked with certain type of players. Obviously, some rumors are just the media trying to get a story or make up a story. So obviously, some you have to take with a grain of salt. What the question I'm really asking is, which players do Chelsea really need? Like you're linked with certain players. Like there's some reports saying that Chelsea are linked with Griezmann, things like that. Do we need him like Declan Rice? Do we need him? Players like that. And also, do Chelsea need players? Which players do they really need in terms of to help them to grow as a team, grow and improve on the squad that they already have right now? That is great, but a team can never be too good. So that's the question I'm really asking. So it's an interpretation of both, but the main question is which players do Chelsea need of the players that they're linked to?
Okay, so I'll actually go by position and clear each position and see why Chelsea need a player or you don't need a player. So goalkeeper, we have Kepa, we have Mendy. Um, Mendy is 28, Kepa, he's like 26. So they're both not getting any younger. So Donnarumma, who's like 21 or 22 right now, should have been the perfect signing. But since we didn't get Donnarumma, we shouldn't try again another goalkeeper right now. We should stick to Mendy for at least another 3 seasons. He's still gonna be class, and Kepa can actually be a good second choice goalkeeper. So the only way I'm gonna see Chelsea needing a new goalkeeper is if Kepa leaves, and if Kepa does leaves, I would like to see Neto from Barcelona. He's their second choice goalkeeper, and I think he's gonna be a really good backup for Mendy. But that's if only Kepa leaves. Move on to the center backs. We have Rieger, Silva, Aspi, Guehi, Maling Sars is back. So I don't think we necessarily need a new center back. Yes, we sold Tomori. Yes, Zuma might be leaving. But I don't know. I don't think we need a new center back. If we are to get one, then it has to be like a young, good center back. because Rudiger is I believe 29 or 28, and Varane is like around 27. So if you want to get Varane, who's like almost the same age as Rudiger, I'm not sure how that's gonna work. And if you get Varane, it's either Rudiger's gonna get benched or Asper's gonna get benched. So we don't need a new center back at all. Move on to right wing back and left wing back. Akimi would have been the perfect backup because if Akimi was in, we could actually see Reece James at right center back more. And yeah, but since we didn't get Akimi, I think we should stick to Reece James and Callum Hudson-Odoi can actually play that position so well. And I think when we're playing against easier team and we're wanting to score more goals, it's better to use Callum there because on attack he can act as the winger, and on defense he can actually drop back a bit. And or if it's not back here, Aspie can be the right back for the moment. So which I think is really good. Left wing back we have Chilwell, Alonso. Emerson might leave, but I think Chilwell is a really good player there. Even though Alonso is aging, Alonso can be a backup and play in those smaller games, or if we actually use like academy players in the smaller game. Move on to the center mid. We have Kante, Kovacic, Gilmore. Gilmore might be going on loan though, but we have Jorginho as well. We and Bakayoko is going to be back from loan, so we don't actually need a new center mid as well. Yeah, Rice will be good, but he's not that aggressive. He's like he has the aggressiveness of Jorginho, but then he's not really that good of a passer as Jorginho. So like he's not Jorginho level and he's not Kante level either. So I mean the only we should start looking for a new center mid maybe like next season at least at the latest because Kante is still gonna be good. Jorginho, he's 29, but he's still gonna be good. Kovacic is like 26. He's still gonna be good. Barkley's gonna be back. Loftus-Cheek is gonna be back. I don't think we need a new center mid either. For the cam position, we have so much talent. Pulisic, Mount, Ziyech, so many players. We actually do not need a new cam at all. People mention Griezmann for striker position. I think Chelsea are looking for that striker that can actually finish when it matters the most and complete all a good possession and make the most out of you know the good plays we're making. So I don't think Griezmann is gonna be a really good option because of the fact that if you look at Haaland shots versus Griezmann shots, Griezmann is like more of placement and Haaland's like more of power. I know that doesn't matter, but Griezmann is not the type of striker that like 5 minutes left in the game he'll score a goal. No, he's sometimes inconsistent, which and he's like 29 right now or 30. So I don't think Chelsea should actually go for him. And we'll move on to Haaland. I don't think Chelsea should actually rush for Haaland. Yes, Tammy Abraham doesn't really fit the system. Yes, Timo Werner is not scoring goals. We have Kai Havertz though. Kai Havertz is not really that clinical, but he's still a good option there. Tammy Abraham. I just have this feeling that it's gonna work. This season is actually gonna be pretty good for Tammy, and he might actually get used to the system and actually work in the system. Because in the preseason, he's gonna have time with Tuchel to discuss the like, oh, what do I have to do to make this team? What specifically do you need my role in this team to be? And if you can actually work in that based on what Tuchel says, you can actually play a big role in this team. I'm hearing Dortmund wants like 175 million for Allen. That's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, for a player that he's not even the top scorer in the Bundesliga. Lewandowski played way less games, and he was still able to score 40 goals. Werner, he's not really scoring a lot of goals in the Premier League, but he's got a lot of goals in the Bundesliga. Even Andre Silva scored more goals than Allen. So I think we shouldn't rush it yet, because even Haaland could not, despite the talents that Norway had, he could not help them. Was somewhat terrible for them. So if you want to get Haaland, I'll say wait one more season. Let's see how he does for Dortmund again, and then based on Tammy, and then plays next season is going to determine on how and if we're gonna need a new signing. But the only way I could actually see Chelsea actually rushing a signing is because the fans might get in the board's head, because everyone is complaining that, oh, why are we not getting new signings? Like, calm down. We just won the Champions League with this current squad. We can actually do it. We can even do better. We can win the Premier League. We're gonna have our loan players back, and some getting sold, so that's more cash, and give players new contracts. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Okay, so thanks for that. I can see that you have a person in the chat. I'm not sure if they just went, but they disagree with three things you said. You said that we don't need a new center back. He said this. Silva is too old. Is old. He didn't say too old. He just said he's old. Um, yeah, and that's in the thumbnail. New center back, and I kind of agree and disagree. Thiago Silva is old, but obviously he isn't going to be playing the same amount of games that he played last season or the season that just ended. He's older now. He's gonna be um likelier to get injuries. So obviously you have to manage his games better. So obviously yes, and if that's the case, and you mentioned that Zuma might leave, and it looks likely, having four centre backs isn't going to be really that important. It's not going to be that it's not going to be that much of a smart thing to do because Thiago Silva, Sadish or whatever his name is. I apologize if I just slandered your name, but like he said, he's old, so he's not going to be able to play the same amount of games. Obviously, you have players like Mark Gurney who can probably play a few games. That's if they don't sell him out on loan. You have Ethan Ampadu who can probably play in the midfield. You have some other players. But in a sense, it depends on what happens in pre-season. If Tuchel isn't pleased with the defenders that have returned from loan, then we might see them go on loan, and then we might end up trying to get a defender, which I'm not sure who that's going to be because the players that would actually make sense to bring in, or are they going to, are either going to PSG, Man United, or things like that. So it's gonna be difficult to find a defender in that regard. And he also he also mentioned the fact that Shaw doesn't suit Tuchel's system, so he might go alone. In a sense, I agree with that, but the thing is the system or the formation that Tuchel was playing, it didn't really give Cho the chance to really play as that right forward or like left forward. He was mostly played as a left wing back or a right wing back, and that's we all know that he isn't a Victor Moses or a Kennedy who can play as that wing back or as that winger. He has to be one position, and in the beginning it worked out, but a part of that right wing back role is also being able to help and come back and defend as well. That is why Tro isn't played in those top games, and he realized that in games where you have teams pressuring us or putting or they're playing high, that's when you might see Tro play because he has the pace on that side, and then he can make it. And an example of that was the Crystal Palace game. He played the Crystal Palace game. In a sense, we were expecting them to be attacking us, but they were sitting back for most of the game. But the second half they try to come out. But and one thing that shows that he doesn't have that defensive quality necessarily is the fact that the goal that Benteke scored, if that was Reece James, he wouldn't have cut into the box instead like Cho did. He would have tried to go one on one with I think it was what's his name? Crap. He's that young guy. I don't remember his name. But anyways, that cross would never have happened because he would have stuck with the man and he would have tried to prevent it from happening. So in that regard, I can understand why it say doesn't suit the system, but Cho isn't the player that Tuchel is trying to make him out to be. Unless it's gonna be a situation where he works with him on the training ground to improve his game to make him more versatile, so he can play more games as a right wing back or a winger or anything. But you have to remember that we might not play a back three formation next season. We could use it for some games, but I don't think it will be all games because we need to have more attacking output as well. And playing a back three sometimes doesn't allow you to play the players that actually give you the attacking prowess. And sometimes when some players don't play, you realize that it becomes an issue. No, I'm not talking Andrew. I'm talking Crystal Palace here. Eze, I think that's his name, Eze. For that plays for Crystal Palace. I think it was him that made a cross that led to Benteke's goal in the 4-1 win. I don't remember if it was him or not. But what I was saying, Callum doesn't have that defensive mindset like Reece James does to stick with the man and try to go one on one to prevent him from making a pass or a cross. But yeah, everything else I kind of agree with. The midfield probably I'm not sure with Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Ross Barkley. I don't think Ross Barkley has a future at Chelsea, to be honest. I don't think he does. I think it's gonna be it's a situation where he's gonna be assessed by Tuchel. If he ends up getting a chance under Tuchel, then I'll be surprised. But Ross Barkley is not really that consistent. He's a player that can step up in some games, but at the same time, I'm not sure about what he can really offer that we don't already have. And Ross Barkley just doesn't have that consistency. He can score some long shots, and that would have been handy for in some games where instead of us trying to work the ball into the box, having a player who could score those or take those shots that could possibly have led to a goal. But Ross Barkley isn't consistent, and fine, people can say he was at Aston Villa and he didn't really get the chance to play much because when he was starting to hit some form, he got injured, and he never came back. When he came back, his that ability and everything that he was doing in the beginning of his role at Aston Villa, he couldn't do it because he wasn't back up to that pace of what he was before because of that injury. But I don't think Russ Barkley really has a future. If he gets a chance on the Tuchel, then I'll be a bit surprised because he doesn't have that's my opinion. I don't think he has the quality or the things that actually suit Tuchel's system. But yeah, I agree with what you said in terms of the cam and everything. We do have players who could drop there. Like you said, you can have Werner playing as it because Werner isn't a all and out striker. He's a second striker, and that's why at RB Leipzig you saw him playing off Poulsen and everything because he isn't that main striker. He's that second striker like player or that false nine as we like to call it. So he can play there as well. And what he's saying here is I think we should spend big on Haaland. City's getting Grealish and Kane, so I think we should push for a star youth. Mm, that is another thing as well because getting if you think about it and hopefully it's a case where Holland decides to stay at the club for more than 3 years. um Longevity, having a younger player makes you have longevity. It allow you to have more players and it will allow you to be able to develop or you can try to improve on certain areas because you'll have a younger player who you can rely on. But one thing that really makes me think sometimes is the fact that we're going to go for Holland. We have more players that are young, and if you're looking for longevity, if you're looking for a star right now, I can understand that. But you have some younger players who can break through if you give them a chance, give them a little of loan spells, give them a few games, minutes here and there. Do you really need to be spending that much on a striker who's not guaranteed to be successful from the get go? I know I want you to answer that, Lookman, if you're still there, and the chat as well.
What was the question?
The
Can
question
you hear me?
is, yeah, I can hear you. The question is, people are saying that get Haaland now because longevity will be there, but we have younger players as well. Does it make sense to spend that big on a player who won't
Do I think money?
guarantee that success from the
Is that
get
a
go?
question?
Go on, Nickman, can you hear me? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on with Lookman. For those who are in the chat, you can also join the discussion like the banner says right there. You can just click the link, the StreamYard link that's in the description. And you don't have to stay on for long. You can just come on, tell me your thoughts on the topic, and then that's it. You can leave if you want after that. You don't have
Hold on.
to stay. Yeah, go on. Go on, look, man. Okay, so while Lookman tries to sort out the issue he's having, I'm going to be looking at a few of these messages from these comments that in you two are saying. So DJ Sav is saying people need to realize we have six competitions next season to play. When people say Cho should be loaned out, if we did not have that many competitions, I would say possibly loan Cho for game time. Yeah, Lookman has fallen off. But yeah, I agree with you, DJ Sav, and that's why I'm not really on the side that say loan out Cho. Give Cho a chance. And obviously this season, well, the season that's gonna be starting soon, he's going to get more game time because of that factor. We're gonna have more games. Players are gonna crucial players are players that will eventually show that they're important. We'll be getting rest. Like possibly if Vernal gets the form that I think he will, Hugh might get rested and Shaw might come in. Mason Mount might get a rest if he continues to be a crucial player. So, like you said, yes. If we didn't have that much competitions, possibly, but we will be holding on to some of those players who we tend to call loanees or players that actually go out on the loan army. We're gonna keep some players. Connor Gallagher, I think he might get a chance, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if he goes out alone. But I agree with what you said, DJ Sab. I'm not sure if you can come on, DJ Sab. So it will be better for you to answer quickly, so I can get it because there's a bit of a delay sometimes. So you can send the message, and I don't see it until 5 minutes after. So if you have the time to at least come on and to see what you think in full, then that'd be nice. But if you can't, then I totally understand that. But yeah, you know, hopefully Lukman can come back on. He said he was having some internet issues in the past, so that could be the reason why he fell off. But yeah, yeah, but So what are your thoughts in terms of the other things? I was about to say this. And I did have this discussion on another channel that I have, and I was like, Chelsea's academy. What's going to happen to those youths that come from the academy, who are in the academy? Will they get discouraged because instead of looking at the academy, giving them the chance to at least show that they can. Obviously, you can't give everybody because you can't fill the first team with academy graduates or academy players, but at least give some that actually look like they're going to be hot prospects, give them a chance to show what they can do, and then if it's a situation where they don't look like they'll be ready in that time, then yeah. I agree with what you said here, DJ Sam. With Kepa, I think it's going to be difficult to get rid of Kepa because we gave him a long term contract. Obviously we thought he would have been that Kurzweil replacement because of how young we got him at. So I don't know about how. Yeah, he isn't. He isn't a bad player, and people look at Kepa as if he's a bad player. He isn't a bad shot stopper. The issue that Kepa has is those long range shots, those shots like that. Those are things. His ability to stretch is it's not his fault. His height is his disadvantage. If he was a bit taller, then clearly he wouldn't be beaten by those shots or that much. He isn't a bad shot stopper. His issue is that sometimes he loses concentration and sometimes he doesn't make a movement. Sometimes I blame it. Yeah. I know DJ Sam. But I think it's best to loan him out because Kepa isn't a bad player. And he has a career. He's still a bit young. I think he's 27. So yeah. Footy USA. This is this one by the way. Rudiger and David Luiz. That was never a bad partnership necessarily. So you can't really say that really. David Luiz had his good games. David Luiz had his off games, but I mean he's one of those players that was actually successful. He won everything at Chelsea. He won the Champions League, the Europa League. He won the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup. So he was successful, and it's not like he was just a part of the squad. He did play a crucial role in Chelsea winning the Premier League, the Champions League. That 2012 moment he made, and he was half injured if I'm not mistaken in 2012. So yeah, okay. DJ Sav is here. So, welcome to the stream fully. DJ Sav.
Hey, hey, bro, how you doing? You alright?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I was just saying. I know I was putting out those plays. Yeah, I know it's going to be tough to get Kepa off the books. I agree he can be a good goalkeeper, but I just keep looking at his faults that he does have in his games. And as I've said on loads of streams that I've gone on, if you're a manager of the opposition team, yeah, the one and Kepa's in the goal, just put the ball on the sides, top corner, and he's going to be beaten. So that's the only reason why I was saying Kepa. But I know it's going to be hard to get him off the books because of the contract that he's on. I get he does have spits and spats when he can have a good game. I'm not knocking him at all. I think there is a good goalkeeper in there if he can avoid mistakes, say, and he can get his game a little bit more up. I'd possibly say, yeah, then maybe keep him around because I think it's going to be impossible to get a goalkeeper that's going to want to come in and play as a number two. Now, I have seen today that Wayne Hennessy has been mentioned as a possible candidate to come in because his contract at Crystal Palace is up. And there's talk of a free transfer that he could possibly come into Chelsea. And there's a few other clubs that are looking at him in the Prem as well. Now, he wouldn't be a bad shout as a free transfer. I think he's better than Kepa for me. And I think he could come in there and do a pretty good job. If not him, there are two other goalkeepers that have been mentioned. There's the Brabka from Newcastle. Whether he'd want to come in at Chelsea and be a number two, I don't know. And then you've got this other goalkeeper from Werder Bremen that we're linked with as well. So there are options that we're looking at. But I think in terms of this whole situation of players coming in at Chelsea, from what I understand, Tyrone, is it looks like, bro, we're going to be going all out for Erling Haaland. And I think people are saying, why are we wasting a whole transfer budget on Erling Haaland? I think it's because Roman Abramovich wants this guy. I mean, I think it's been going around today on a lot of tweets today that Roman is prepared to give the money for him and he's going all out to get him. And that's probably why I think this is one of the reasons what Chelsea are actually concentrating on at the moment. This is main deal. Before anyone else is considered to come in. I think the other players are going to be used to be sold. So we can maybe bring another player in. And that either being, obviously, there's Declan Rice, being talked about Declan Rice, Tchouameni, and possibly Camavinga are the three that have been mentioned as midfielders. I also saw Saul Niguez as well being mentioned, even though Liverpool seem to be the firm favourites for him at the moment. But yeah, I mean, this is what I'm just saying. But in terms of the squad depth for next season, the reason why people were saying about Cho as well, I was saying about Cho, and I saw in your comment section a guy was saying he doesn't fit into Tuchel's plans. I think if Tuchel's actually turned around and said to him that you're very much going to be part of my team, my team next season, he's actually come out and says he wants to stay and fight for his place. I go along with that. I personally think Cho, there is a player in Cho. I think we all know that. And I think it will come out next season. I really do.
Yeah. I agree with everything you just said. Yeah. With Kepa, like he said, his issue is those long shots. If
Yeah.
you're a player, you can feel confident that if you take a long shot from distance, it's gonna likely be a goal because it's Kepa. And I know that gives players the confidence, and that's why a lot of fans are very worried when Kepa is in goal. Not because of the fact that he might concede some. Sometimes he can concede those low shots, but most of the times it's shots that he can't see that he concedes in that regard. But those long shots, those that sometimes it's not his fault, but sometimes his starting position isn't the best as well. So in a sense, yeah, that is it. But with everything that you said, and I did reply to that comment that you made about Joe.
Yeah.
Um, to loan him out, that'd be foolish, and it could be another situation with the midfield like last season.
Yeah.
We lost to Sheik and Ross Barkley at the same time, or close to the same time. And then we
Mm-hmm.
had an issue that came on to when Kovacic was injured, Kante needed a rest because he was not up to the standard and he was starting to be fatigued. And
Yeah.
Jorginho was injured as well, and he had to be brought back in because we only had three. Well, we have four. Billy Gilmore, but Billy Gilmore can't play on his own because we play a double pivot,
Yeah.
and sometimes we had to put Mason Mount deeper, and we all know that Mason Mount cannot play in a double pivot unless it's going to be a situation where you have a defensive player that can cover for him like a Kante.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that'll be smart to really loan out players this soon. Let's see what happens first. See which
Yeah.
players will be crucial, and
Yeah.
then we'll probably make a decision. It would be foolish to loan him out, especially like you said, the amount of games we will have
Yeah.
more games. So see what happens first, and possibly hold on to some of the players that have come back from loan if
Yeah.
they impress people. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with everything you've just said there, Sorry. And I think the other thing I'll also say is I'm reading. I've read so much stuff today that have been coming up. There's talk that Chelsea are now looking to offer Mason Mount a brand. I don't know if you saw it. They're looking to offer him a new contract now. They look like he's I think he's on about 50,000 or 80,000 pound a week. They now want to up it up now to they want to give him an extension so he stays on I think at Chelsea for another two. I think 2000. I think it's 2024 or 2025. So they're looking to offer him a new contract as well. The other thing I was also going to say was that I think it was a couple of days ago. I think it might have been on Monday or Friday last week. I can't remember. I was reading that Chelsea maybe possibly now looking to offer Bakayoko a 1-year extension on his contract. So Marina's looking to get more money in for him. There's talk of like maybe 20, 40 million to up his price to 40 million. But here I'm thinking if we can't sell the guy for 20 million and we're loaning him out, he's on his like last year of his contract. I don't think anyone's going to come in and fork out 40 million on him. I really can't think of a football club out there. I know Milan, there's talks of Milan, Napoli, and he would love to go back to any of those two clubs. But I, for one, cannot believe anyone will want to fork out 40 million on Bakayoko because he's not he's just not going to be he's just not going to go for that amount of money. So yeah, there is a lots of things going on at the moment. I just think that in terms of our business. Yeah, I know you and your other. I think it was Lookman was saying earlier on that why are we going all out to go and fork out a whole transfer budget on Erling Haaland. I think what you got to remember with Erling Haaland, I get what people are saying about a striker that might not come in and hit the ground running, but for Haaland, I think it's going to be different. I think we've seen how the guy looks. He's built literally as a tank. Literally, that guy is. I mean, can't get the ball off him. He's a great finisher. And I think he's the kind of guy that will actually bang in our goals. When I look at Haaland, he reminds me very much of a Erling Haaland. Sorry, very much of a Diego Costa and a Didier Drogba type player. Strong, compact, finishing on the ball, very hard to get the ball off, pushes players out of the way, gets others into play as well. I mean, that is what Chelsea are looking at. I think he's the kind of guy that I think will come in at Chelsea, and he's got a shot on him as well from distance as well. This is why I think they're all out for him, and this is why I think if it means that we can only get this guy this season, and he's the only one that we can afford to get, I would go all out and say yes, because we do have a good team generally, as we know. But I think what we're missing is in that final third, someone to finish the ball and put it into the back of the net, as we failed last season. So I think this season, if him coming in, and then I'm sure Werner's going to, I know for a fact Werner's going to improve on his game. He'll get some goals this season. If Tammy ends up staying, I won't complain about that if he doesn't go anywhere, because obviously we're going to lose Giroud. I think Giroud still is going to be wrapped up on Friday in Milan. He's going to go to Milan on Friday, wrapped up. So we're going to need that extra striker anyway. So if it means Haaland and Tammy as the two, and obviously Werner maybe playing as the third one, then or Havertz, then it doesn't really matter. If they can start scoring goals between them, and they're such a young age as well between them all, I think that's really good for Chelsea for the future. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I agree with everything you just said. The thing is, I'm not saying that Erling Haaland doesn't have anything, because he clearly has the mentality, and he has the playing style to be successful.
Mm.
The issue is how long will it take? Because the Bundesliga isn't really as progressive as the English Premier League is. It has to do with you don't have much time on the ball like in the Bundesliga. And sure, you might use the fact that in the Champions League you face teams that would pressure you. And he played against Man City and he was good against them. But you're not going to always face teams like that. He does have the mentality and he does have the characteristics, like you said, of a Drogba and as a Diego Costa, because he's aggressive. He has that
Yeah.
ability he has a strength as well to just weave off players off his back and things like that. The thing
Mm.
is, what I'm is getting a player who might find it hard to get the ball that easily, because you're not gonna get much chances that you get in the Bundesliga to score goals. So if you get a one chance, if the ball comes to your feet, you just have to
Mm.
take it first time. You can't think about it. You can't hesitate, because you're not gonna get that chance to think about it. And that's why Timo Werner struggled last
Yeah.
season, because he didn't adapt to the fact that you don't have that time on the ball, and sometimes he will be dispossessed, and he would expect a foul, because in the Bundesliga, you get a lot of free kicks for some slight tackles. So things like that he has to adapt to, and there's things like you said, Timo Werner will come good. I favor him to come good, because the things that we complain about him not timing his goals to perfection, he's trying to improve on it, because I remember watching
Yeah.
that England game. His timing was better. He was offside and he ran back, and then he ran back and he went ahead of the player just in time instead of going before and looking where the ball was. So there are things that are things that you can look at as positives to say that Timo Werner can improve on what he did last season.
Oh,
So I
definitely. Yeah.
agree. So yeah, but I agree with what you said, and with Tammy Abraham as well, and Giroud. Giroud is yeah, like you said, he'll most likely become an AC Milan player on by Friday. So it would be good to hold on to him. And Tammy Abraham is on a 2-year contract still, so people tend to forget. It's not like next season he'll be going out on a free or things like that. So there's
Yeah,
still time to convince him that he can have a role in the team and he can still probably persuade him to at least sign a contract because that's the main reason. It's not like Chelsea don't want to keep him. It's a situation where he
yeah,
doesn't want a contract because I'm sure they don't want to make another Kevin De Bruyne or Lukaku situation happen because Tammy Abraham
yeah,
in a few years can become a terrific striker. The thing is that he just doesn't have those things yet where he'll be able to have that strength, and that's why Erling Haaland would be the perfect player to come in because he can, even though he's younger than Tammy Abraham, he can probably influence Tammy Abraham in some other ways and probably take things from his game. So
yeah,
yeah, I agree with everything you said. And the issue, I wasn't saying that Erling Haaland is really a foolish move because he doesn't have the characteristic or he doesn't have the personality to make it. He has it,
mm,
and he attitude that I wish not Tammy Abraham, Team Werner had of not really caring about missing. Obviously, he is disappointed when he doesn't score a goal, and he's
mm,
disappointed. And the issue that I like with Erling Haaland is that like with Dorman, they were losing a lot of games. He wasn't happy, and when he had those interviews at the end of the game, you'll be like he's disappointed with it. So if with a player who doesn't care and who wants to score as much goals, Erling Haaland will be the perfect player because he wants to win every game and he has that mentality of wanting to score as much goals as he can, and that's what these players need to have.
yeah. And again, you're literally, I mean, echoing everything I've basically been saying as well. I mean, I think what we've got to realise with Timo Werner, I think the reason why, and this is why I kept on getting a bit agitated with some of the Chelsea fan base out there last season, is what people got to remember with Timo Werner is if they've watched his career and watched him play, they've seen he's always played off a striker or he's cut inside from the left hand side. He's never played as the proper number 9. He's always come in as he's cut off, and he's always played off Paulson when he was at Leipzig. Yeah, and I think this is what Chelsea. This is, I think, one of the reasons why Chelsea are trying to get this Haaland deal sorted out, because he's just the kind of player that Werner. He's just the kind of player that Werner can play off, and not only, and I think they'll complement each other as well. Because if you think about, let's be honest, Werner does play good balls into the box as well for others to finish. I think we've seen that a lot last season with his ratio of setting up goals last season was excellent. His passing of the ball was excellent. Okay, sometimes he got it wrong, like most of them do, but 9 out of 10 times though, he always got a pass right, and someone would be there to finish it in the back of the net. And I think this is the whole situation is going to be with why Haaland is going to be being brought in next season, is so Werner can actually play off him. And obviously you've got Kai Havertz there as well. Like I said, we're not going to see the same formation being played as we've seen last season with Thomas Tuchel when he came and took over. You're going to see different formations in for different matches that are going to be played, and he's gonna use all the team he's literally got to play them in the positions that they are strong at doing. And I think you'll see that with them next season. So yeah, I think if we can get him in, the season is going to look really, really great for us, and I really think we can really go all up there and challenge for the Premiership next season. I really do.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, and I want to talk a bit about what you said about Timo Werner and while setting up those chances. Yeah, like you said, it's not like he's a player that just is isolated. Sometimes he does impact the team and he does add to the team, even if he doesn't score goals. He does try to get assists. He does try to make chances for his teammates, whether it's Kai Havertz, Mason Mount. If he plays with the Rude, he will try to make it Tammy Abraham, things like that. So it's not like he's not doing anything when he doesn't score. And
Yeah,
the only thing that's negative about Burner is that he's not making the right decision when it comes on
yeah,
to finishing.
agreed,
But
agreed,
I think
agreed.
over time that will change. That will change because you know it's down to the Bundesliga mentality of taking some light shots and most likely it being a goal. And it's the same thing you can see for Kai Havertz. He has a great first touch, Kai Havertz, and the only thing that was letting him down was the fact that his shots were not really with power. But what I saw recently is that he's starting to shoot from distance as well with power. So things
Mm,
like that can be things that you can look at as a Chelsea fan and be confident that those two German players will start to be promising and can be crucial. And like you said with um with with the fact that the fan base and well not everybody but some of the fan base slandering him, saying things like that, he's garbage, things like that. It's not justified because he
Yeah.
does offer things and he is and obviously no player is gonna have a 100% game every time. The
Hmm.
top players always have an off game and it's just the humanity type of thing. You're always gonna make a mistake. You're not gonna be perfect because no one is perfect. So
No.
clearly things that will always come up. So when people slander him and say he's this, he's that, he's garbage, things like that, it's not justified and it makes no sense. So yeah, like you said, he will come good because there are things that he will improve on, and especially with the fact that he didn't play much for Germany, it's good because it'll allow him to get a better headspace. It will give him the better mentality. His mindset will be better because things like him missing a lot of shots, it won't be down to him not scoring this or why they didn't win, things like that. Because he'll be relaxed, he'll be fit as well. If he's doing his right, if he's ensuring that his fitness is up and everything, then he should be good for Chelsea because then he'll return and he'll be in a better mindset. So he will come good. And Kai Havertz as well
Yeah.
with his performance in the Euros, yeah, he's definitely going to be becoming good because he was crucial for Germany, and it's a pity that they didn't pay him really and try to help him a bit more. But yeah, and like you said with Werner as well, just the fact that he isn't an all and out striker, I agree with that 100% because not only at club, if you think about it, if you look at the German team as well, you tend to see on falls nine like Thomas
Yeah.
Muller. You
Yeah.
see three of him on and Kai Havertz recently, that's the same thing you see as well. You see that with Poulsen, like you said, at RB Leipzig, things like that.
Mm.
Some people don't realize that he isn't that main striker. He's like a second striker or that supporting striker who plays as an AM, and that's why he's flexible and he's versatile. He can play as an AM, and he's also helping sometimes defensively as well when he can, even though it's not
Yeah.
really his strong. But yeah, so like you said,
Sorry, bro. What was that you cut on me when you said? Sorry, what was that, mate? You said?
I said I agree with what you said about Timo Werner, and
Oh,
he
okay.
will come. He said, yeah. So
Yeah.
this
I mean,
I know
I
you.
was also.
I know.
So,
Yeah, go on.
sorry, bro. We're cutting. I was just going to say to you. We were just talking about Timo Werner. I'll also say another thing about Timo Werner. Next season is going to be a big season for him because I think what we're going to see next season is if this Haaland deal does go through, and depending on the three players that Thomas Tuchel decides to go for, he may decide to go with Pulisic, Haaland, Ziyech. He may decide to go with Pulisic, Haaland, Mount, or he may decide to go with. Uh, we're going to see next season how Timo Werner is going to react to a lot of these decisions next season because I think this is the other thing that's gonna will be another thing because I don't know. I think some people seem to think he's a bit of a moody player as well. If he doesn't get what he wants, if he's not starting games, he can go into a bit of little rants here and there. And I think next, if people thinking that was bad this season, him going a little rants for him not starting all the games, next season is going to be more of a big challenge for him because if Haaland does end up coming in, he's going. Let's be honest. He's going to be the main starter. I think there's no ifs or buts about that. You're not going to go and fork out 130 million plus add-ons and leave a player like him on the bench unless you're going to rest him for certain games. But he's going to be the main starter, the main vocal point next season up front for us. And the interesting thing to be is going to how Werner is going to react because he's going to be vying for a position on that left-hand side with Pulisic. And obviously Mount, I think's position is going to be in the team anyway. I think Mount will obviously they're all going to have a time when they're all going to be missing games, but I think Timo Werner possibly could miss more game time than what he was getting this season, and I think you're going to see that next season. He's going to have. I'm hoping that mentality thing we're talking about because people were talking about he has a bit of a mentality thing he was having in Germany when he wasn't scoring goals or things were going against him, he would actually sit and go and talk to one of the psychologists or whatever it was in Germany there, because to see how he's doing and what was going on with him. It's going to be interesting to see how he's going to be this season, Timo Werner. And I really hope he looks at it as a positive thing, and he will come out next season and say, you know what, I'm going to show what I'm really all about next season. And I hope he does do that with a lot of these players, a lot of these signings you've. Ty, you there?
Yeah. I can hear you as well.
Yeah, I'm finished, man. I'm finished my point. I just finished my point, bro. Sorry, I thought you was me quiet.
Yeah. I was trying to mute so you wouldn't hear any noise and I wouldn't prevent you from speaking clearly. But yeah, you're right because if Haaland comes in and if he hits and if he does start to score a lot of goals, then Timo Werner will be getting the game time because clearly Thomas Tuchel clearly has a plan for Erling Haaland. And
Yeah,
you're not going to spend that much, like you said, just to not give him the game time, especially with the fact that he's crucial for Dortmund. So that would be
yeah,
foolish for him to leave if he's not going to be first choice. But yeah, and you mentioned the fact that he had that Timo Werner had that issue where he wasn't starting, he wasn't scoring. He would he would get help and he would
yeah,
talk to somebody.
yeah,
But there's this report. It's an interview that he did with Kai Havertz, and they asked him how does he feel about the fact that he sometimes he doesn't play games and things like that. But and Kai Havertz answered for him instead of Timo Werner responding, and he said clearly it kind of hurts when he doesn't play, but uh, but
yeah,
it's at the end of the day the team is important the and if the team is doing good without him, then that's good enough for him. Obviously,
yeah,
he has these aspirations and clearly he wants to score goals. But on a personal level, the team is more important than how many games he's playing because if the team
yeah,
is winning, then he's winning as well. So that mentality is something good to hear, and for him to say that is good to hear that he doesn't have issue. Sometimes, obviously, he
yeah.
does want to play games, but if the team is doing good, he's okay with not playing every game because obviously he's not going to play every game.
Yeah. And yeah, and I think it's good for him as well because he's not going to be much he's not going to be much in the limelight as he was last season. I think this season, if obviously Haaland does come in, he'll have that opportunity to say, you know what, the spotlight won't just be mainly on him. It's going to be, it's going to literally going to be on Haaland because let's be honest, it's not going to just be on what Haaland's going to do. Everyone's going to want to see what this super kid's going to do when he comes here, Erling Haaland. And I think the whole world, regardless of who you support, even the rival fans out there, are going to see what this guy is all about because they've all seen him, they've all watched him in the Bundesliga, they know what a lethal finisher he is, and I think a lot of these clubs are going to be a bit worried. I think personally, and the management team of how they're going to play against him next season. To be honest with you, because he's going to make it tough for a lot of them if he can come in and settle. Because I think he's going to. For me, I think Haaland's going to come in and settle in very quickly. I don't think he's going to have a situation where he may need maybe 1, 2, or 3 games to get himself used to the Prem, but I think once he starts going and he starts getting his goals going into the back of that, and he starts finding his goal scoring touch again, man, I'm going to feel sorry for all those defenders out there in those rival teams or every team we play next season because this guy's going to be lethal. I'm telling you, he's going to be potent. I think next season, I really do. I'm really confident about him.
That's true. That is so true. And yeah, like we said, it's his mentality and his personality favors him to become successful and he allows you to know that he can and he will be a crucial player. So yeah, I agree with you, and yeah, that's gonna be a huge thing. Defenders, what are defenders gonna do? Will it be a situation
Yeah,
where we see players springing off his back and things like that? Um, obviously, it won't be an Eden Hazard situation, even though people are looking at it
no,
like it saying EH and the initials and things like that. But if you're gonna use the fact that he's initially PH, you're gonna also say that he's gonna struggle in his first season because that's what Eden Hazard did. He struggled a bit in his first season, and then the
Yeah,
second season, then
he
when you
did.
started to see the Eden Hazard. So if you're gonna use that, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to include everything else, and I'm pretty sure we don't want to see him struggle because we're trying to have a better output when it comes on to
Yeah.
scoring goals.
And to be fair, Tyron, Drogba also struggled in his first season when he came to Chelsea as well until he started finding his goal scoring touch. I think out of all those players, I think Diego Costa kind of like got into the groove straight away. I think it took him 1 or 2 games before he got his goals and started scoring goals. So yeah, I mean, again, it depends on the mentality of the player. You're 100% correct. It depends on the mentality of the player, and if they think, yeah, they'll be up. I mean, if I've got this thing in my head of thinking, if Haaland is anything like I'm thinking of a Drogba, Costa, Lewandowski type player. Okay, man, I can see. I'm just kind of can see good things for our football club next season. I really can if we get him. If we get this deal over the line, I really hope we can do, and I really can see a lot of them in him next season. Of those three I've mentioned in particular, the guy to finish goals beautifully, he can do that. A man who can hold up play, aggressiveness. They're the three things that you're going to see next season. So a great finisher like Lewandowski, a man who can hold up play and score obviously like Drogba, and then you got the aggressiveness of Costa. Those three things in Haaland next season, mate. Can you just imagine what it's going to be like? Boy.
Yeah, 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 and the fact that you brought up Diego Costa, I'm sure fans will be hoping that he does have some of the characteristics that
So he's there.
that Diego Costa has.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you basically covered what I wanted to talk about yesterday with Timo Werner and everything. So I think that's probably out of the way now. But I want to
Okay.
ask you this. I know you mentioned Camavinga and Tchouameni and players like that, but
Yeah.
do you think that um do you think that a goalkeeper is key as well? Because I know
Yeah.
fans don't really trust Kepa, for to play if AFCON does happen in the period where Mendy might leave. Do you think that you mentioned Hennessy and things like that, but do you
Yeah.
think that that's key and if things doesn't work out with Camavinga because Man United is also in for him, what would you think about that?
Yeah, the situation with the goalkeeper situation. Yeah, of course the goalkeeper situation is a very, very obviously is a worrying situation. I mean, people say if you've got good defenders, then you don't need to worry about your goalkeeper. I agree with that as well. But there are going to be times, obviously, as we know, as we saw last season, and then every time a team plays, whoever the team is, you need your defense and you need a good goalkeeper behind you to stop the balls from going in the back of the net. And for me, Mendy played that. I mean, I think if people are going on about talking about player of the season and stuff like that, I'd have given it to Mendy because I think he came in and settled in so quickly at Chelsea. Now I think he's settled in more than Kepa. That's how much I've got so much respect and for Mendy for what he came in and done, for where he came from to what he's gone to Chelsea and whatever all the stuff he had gone through in his life, and to come and perform like he did this season has been excellent. So yes, that does play a huge part. When he does obviously go to the African Cup of Nations, I'm going to be worried because I think that is when I'm not sure if the World Club tournament starts then or if it's after or if it's I'm not sure if it starts before that or after that. I can't remember. But that is going to be a time when I'm obviously because we need to win that. That's one trophy we haven't got. And obviously we got the Super Cup from obviously winning it back in '98 when we won it in 2000, the Super Cup. But the one we don't have is the World Club tournament, and I think that is another one we really want to get, to put in our history books. So that is going to be a vital time. So for me, yeah, I don't think Kepa is going to be. I don't think I trust Kepa enough to take us through that competition. I think we will need another goalkeeper in. And the only reason why I mentioned Hennessy, and maybe he might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I think, to get a goalkeeper on a free transfer, we've known that with Chelsea do that anyway. I think we did that with the other couple. Someone to challenge Kepa when Mendy's not there. So yes, that will be a huge part. Going back to the Camavinga situation, yes, Manchester United want him. I 100% agree on that. They do. But I think what pushes the deal towards Chelsea's direction is because of the club that he plays for, Rennes, and we all know who played for Rennes, and that was Petr Cech, and we all know who got Mendy over the line at Chelsea. That was Petr Cech again. So I think with his impotence in that, I think Camavinga is a possibility more now. I think than Tchouameni. I think personally, and I think it looks like from what I'm reading for the last couple of days and the stories that have been going around, it looks like Chelsea are looking at Camavinga now as an alternative to their options if they can't get their main target, which obviously is Declan Rice. But I cannot see Declan Rice and Erling Haaland coming in this season because of the money that we're going to be spending on Haaland and the money that West Ham want for Declan Rice. So for me, it's got to be another option there if we need to bring somebody in. People talk about, we got Ampadu there. Yeah, we do, but I don't think Tuchel trusts him enough to say you're going to come in and be my holding midfielder there. He wants to bring somebody that's going to do that, or someone that can break up the play. That we need, like someone that's going to destroy play, bring others in. I think Camavinga and Tchouameni are the ones, a destroyer, if you like, to come and do that. And I think that's what he's going to be looking at closely next season. This season, if we can't get Declan Rice in.
Yeah, yeah. Big up to you as well, our RCBN. But yeah, he's mentioning
I'm done,
Kamara.
Tyrone. Are
And
you still there, bro?
yeah, yeah, I'm there. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Tyrone, are you there?
Oh, you can hear me, RCBN, right? You can still hear me? Okay. If you can hear me, RCBN, I think it was DJ Sav that was having issues then. But yeah, I was talking about the fact that you said Kamara as well, and yeah, Bobby, okay, so so basically what I was talking about, Bobby, is which players do Chelsea really need this summer. I started this, and you're a guest on it in the past. I think it was on my birthday when I started it. So yeah, yeah, it's the same topic, but obviously we didn't get to finish it because the time and everything. But yeah, so basically I was talking about which players do Chelsea really need. So which players do Chelsea need of the players that they're linked with, because we're linked with Declan Rice, Reece. I'm not sure about that rumor because I think that's probably the media trying to stir up something. And there's reports saying that he would prefer to go to, and there's rumors that say that he'd prefer to go back to Atletico Madrid on loan instead of Chelsea. So it's ups and downs. So you have to take that with a grain of salt. So I'm not sure if you can come on, Bobby. So probably give me your thoughts, because I'm gonna end this soon. So if you could give me your thoughts before that, that would be nice. But it's fine if you can't come on, but you can just tell me your thoughts on which players you think we do need and which players are that are unrealistic and are not likely to come to the club. The link is in the description if you can join. If you can't, then that's fine, and I'll probably wrap this up as well. So yeah, okay. So DJ Sab is back. Hopefully things will be better.
Hey, bro, you're right. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I think either one of us, because I was saying Tyra, I think you had gone or I'd gone, one of the two, and I just kind of put. I think I was still there, but I don't know if yours had gone. But yeah, I'm back again, mate. Sorry about that.
Yeah, yeah. I
Thought,
could have. I was answering you as well. I don't know. I really you're asking if I was still there, but I'm not
oh,
sure what happened.
okay.
Yeah, no problem. RCBN. Yeah, I'm sure the time difference is different for everybody here. So yeah.
Oh, he's Bobby in the chat there. Big up, Bobby. Big up, Bobby. Hope he can come on. RCBN as well. Can any of them come on?
Mm, yeah. I'm not sure.
Ah,
Because Bobby said his thoughts, so I think probably he
that's all right.
can come up. And
Maybe he's
RCBN
busy.
said the time difference is different because it's past midnight for him.
Oh,
So
okay. Fair enough.
yeah.
Fair enough.
Bobby's saying Haaland as third keeper and Rice or Kamara. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so Bobby's at work. So okay, thanks for coming in the chat though. That's okay. RCBN. So yeah, he's saying Holland a third keeper and Rice or Kamara. So basically two of the things that you said. You said Rice and Holland probably wouldn't be able to happen in the same window, but yeah, Holland and a third keeper. So you mentioned Hennessy. So
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, and I know that Bobby is that I think Hennessy is one of the players that Bobby would prefer. If it's not him, I think it'd be I think I don't remember his name, but there's another free agent as well. I don't
Okay.
remember.
Is it the guy from Werder Bremen?
Hmm.
By the name of Jarek or something like that. His name is. Is that the one?
I think it's something like that. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
I
yeah.
probably check.
He's been one of the goalkeepers that there's been talk of. I mean, I've also heard, as I said, of Dubravka from Newcastle, but he's not going to be coming on a free. If anything, we're going to have to pay money for him. And whether he'd want to come to Chelsea as a number two, I somehow don't think so. Unless he's happy to come and play for the Champions of Europe and be happy to say, yeah, okay, I'll be your number two. Excellent. Then I don't mind him coming. I think he's a good goalkeeper as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting one, that is. But I really do think we do need a goalkeeper. I think if with the Mendy going to go off to the African Cup of Nations, and say God forbid he does get a bad injury, unfortunately, I'm sorry, I don't have trust in Kepa to drag us through the season. No way, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fair, man. That's fair. But yeah, with Rice and Kamara, I know
Yeah.
that. Oh, Navas. Ooh.
Oh,
Um,
really?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Navas because I read this report saying that PSG would be looking to hold on to Navas, and obviously they have Donnarumma as well, which I think which is a really big blow for Chelsea because that would have been great. But Petr Cech
Mm,
said that we didn't need him, and I mean I'm not gonna really disagree with what Petr Cech says because every decision that he's been involved in, he has worked out. So yeah,
yeah, of
and
course.
plus Petr Cech knows what it feels, to for you to bring in a younger player, and then the player that was actually there for you and would stick with you even though they would play less games. They're the one that would be faithful to you. And an example would be with him and Courtois. And we all know what happened in the end with Courtois. Courtois wasn't,
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah. I would take Petr word for it because he knows about probably trusting the wrong player. But you can't say Courtois was a great goalkeeper, but in the end he just he just snaked Chelsea in the end. But Bobby's also mentioning. Oh yeah, that's a fair point. RCB, and he's saying that PSG Navas would is right. He's ready to be second choice at PSG. So when at Chelsea, hmm.
Yeah, but it also depends on how much wage. From what I understand, he's probably on a lot of wages at PSG. Carl Neves. Whether Chelsea would want to go and pay that amount of money to him when he comes in on a free or whatever we're going to get him for is another thing. Because I think the reason why Chelsea are holding out for the reason why Chelsea are not going all out for Griezmann is even there's talk of a loan move possibly from Barcelona. Do you know how much weight the guy? I think, from what I understand, the guy's I think over 700,000 a week at Barcelona. I mean, he's going to come in at Chelsea. They're talking about paying half the wage plus him coming in. I mean, that half the wage still for that is still going to be expensive. I mean, we're talking maybe more. We're possibly talking more than possibly Haaland, or being near enough the same amount of wages Haaland could be on if he comes at Chelsea. So whether that is another thing, that's probably why I think Chelsea are not going to pursue the Griezmann deal. This is one of the reasons why I said in your comments earlier on, bro, I said I'd rather Cho and Ziyech stay there because they're already at the football club. Okay, and I'd rather them get more of an opportunity than bringing in Griezmann. It's not that I don't rate Griezmann. I think Griezmann's a top player, but not for what I think he could possibly come in on wages. Now, I know Chelsea are going to pay that wage. It doesn't bother him, but I think it will at some point it will start bothering the other players. You know what I mean? So for me, exactly. There you go. Bobby just said it. His wages is stupid, and that's exactly right. It's so true, Bobby. Bobby's spot on with that, and it is true. Oh yeah, Ben Foster's still available. That's another bad shout either. I mean, that might be the other one that could be available as well.
I think he's will. I think he's staying at Watford. Though. I think so.
Is he? Oh, okay.
Because well, this is gonna be a bit funny, but he has a YouTube channel, and so he made a video about heading back to the Premier League. So that probably does just gives a hint that he's willing to stay at Watford and probably try to stay in the Premier League again. But he's not a bad show. He's a great goalkeeper, and he was crucial for them to get back the promotion. So yeah.
Yeah.
Probably,
Sorry, and just going back to, I saw Kamara on there. If I'm not mentioning, I just thought I saw a tweet just come in. I think I'm gonna probably do the retweet on my thing. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure. I just read on that. I think Monaco might be looking at Kamara now. I don't know if 100% how much of that is true. I don't know. But I just saw a tweet going around about. Maybe you might be able to pick it up, Tyrone. I don't know. But there was something about Kamara.
yeah. Retweet it. I'm gonna see if I can go on it and then screen share it.
Yeah, I only saw it when I was talking to you on your stream, mate. It only came up when I was on your stream. I saw it because I got them popping up on my thing. I only saw it then, and I didn't want to read it in case I got logged off your stream. But I saw something about Kamara on there, so I'm not sure what that means. If it's if I thought I saw Monaco on there, I'm not sure how much of it is true. And the only reason why the only reason why I mentioned Camavinga is because obviously he plays for Rennes. And we all know the situation with Rennes and Mendy and the whole thing with Petr Cech. That's why I thought Camavinga could have been a possibility of coming to Chelsea, and we have a bit of an advantage over United in that way if we were to go and get him.
Yeah, I think you're right about it, Monaco, because I see that there it's in a search tab Kamara Monaco. So I think
Is
I
it
think you're
there?
right about Monaco. So I want to see if I can see if that's the case.
I mean,
Hmm.
that could be an advantage because if Kamara does end up going to Monaco, then I'm only assuming that means Tchouameni could be the one that might leave. If that is the case, because I know they've already signed another player already this season, Monaco. They've signed another midfielder. They've signed a Brazilian midfielder by the name of something Carlos. Something Carlos, his name is. He's only 22 years old, and they signed him from Lyon. So I think that if they brought him in, and there's also maybe Kamara going there, then maybe it might mean that they can't keep hold of Tchouameni. He probably might want to either leave or something like that. I don't know. So that could be one
Yeah,
to watch out for in the next couple of days or weeks.
yeah, yeah. You're right about it being Monaco. The reports there's a lot of French French journalists and everybody is talking about it. So yeah, that's true. But
Yeah.
yeah, RCBN is saying that Man City and Man United, yeah, and you can't be writing them off as well because Man
No.
United in particular, they got Sancho, um they're looking to get Camavinga, so I kind of agree with RCBN is saying probably still some of their interest because I mean even if you're a rival fan, you have to say that Man United have well, most of the time have signed some players that actually were the right choice to sign. Like Bruno Fernandes,
Yeah.
is one of them. What's his name? I think they signed this young player from Atalanta.
Oh, who's this? What? Who? Manchester United? That you talking about the midfielder?
Uh, I'm trying to remember which position he plays for. I think they signed a player from Atalanta.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, going back to the Camavinga situation. I mean, yeah, United are in the shouts. Him. I know he's two idols. Of what I understand and what I know, he would like. I know he's. I think he looks up to Paul Pogba, and I think he also looks up to N'Golo Kante as well. So they are the pool. Maybe if you like those two players that could bring him in now. There is a lot of talk as there's been also about United could possibly be selling could sell Paul Pogba, which I don't think will happen. But there's that possibility as well that might happen as well if he decides he wants to leave. But I think he'll stay another season there. And if it might mean then that they're thinking, okay, they're confident about Camavinga, then I can see possibly Camavinga maybe then go to United to play, obviously to play alongside Pogba, and then maybe take over from Pogba should they sell him in the summer next year. So it's going to be an interesting one. That is. I mean, I think Camavinga is a good player. I mean, I've said from the beginning, I've always thought Tchouameni was always going to be the one that we get. People are going on about Declan Rice, but I think the reason why I keep on ruling out Declan Rice is because I don't think Chelsea are going to fork out 130 million possibly on Haaland and then another 80 million or 60, 70 million on Declan Rice. That's why I don't think we're going to be getting both these players in. It's going to be one or the other. So if we don't get, say for example, don't get the Haaland deal sorted out, then maybe Chelsea might then decide, okay, if we can't get him in, we've got enough in that they're really confident to go at the strikers next season, and then they may decide to bring Declan Rice in. Because there's already, I don't know if you also heard today, Jorginho's again starting talking up about a move going back again. His agents back in the market, back on it again about him wanting to possibly go, but the ball's in Chelsea's court if they want to keep him and offer him a new contract. I'm like, well, I don't know about that. I know his stock's going to be quite high now because he's obviously won the Euros with Italy. He's won the Champions League with us, and he's also won the Europa Cup with us. So his stock will be quite high up. So it depends on what club's going to want to fork out the asking price Chelsea are probably asking for him.
Yeah, it's really confusing when it comes out to Jorginho because apparently that his agent says that he's not going anywhere. So if he's saying that again, then that's gonna be irritating, especially for some fans because fans are some fans are starting to at least looking at him and saying probably he could be a player that he deserves more respect and he
Yeah.
deserves to play more games and everything. So if he's going to say that, then he's just making things worse for himself again. But yeah, the midfield would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be nice, man. I'm just hoping that it doesn't
Oh yeah.
go away. But yeah,
The Super Cup spot on RCBN. That would be really, really nice. I mean, I'd love us to go and get that. Honestly, yeah. The good thing for us is, Tyrone, I think we've got a chance to win a trophy. I mean, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure when is the Super Cup's been played in August only, isn't it?
yeah. I think it's before or after the first Premier League game. I'm gonna check again. I think it's
Yeah.
August 23 or something like that.
So we've got a chance to win. We've got a chance to win an early trophy, which will be nice over our rivals straight away going into the season. That would just give the I mean, if we can win that, I think that would be enough confidence for these players to think, you know what, we can mount a challenge not only for all the cup competitions, but for the Premiership most of all. I think if they can win that Super Cup.
Yeah, yeah, it's August 11. The Super Cup is August 11.
Okay, yeah, um,
Yeah,
yeah. It'll be great if we can go out and win that. I think I'm actually quite confident we can actually win that. I really am.
yeah. That's true. But it's really interesting, the way that fans have been acting because and Lookman was saying this before he came out. He was saying that we need that fans need to relax when it
Yeah,
comes on to the window. Obviously, we want to see that Chelsea have signed a new player because they're the champions of Europe and other teams are building are rebuilding and everything. So clearly, that's gonna be discouraging to see other teams being adding players to their team. So I can get that, but you have to be patient with it. And the main player that they're looking to get is Haaland. So
yeah,
it's gonna take a while. But this reminds me of the Kai Havertz situation. It was really stretched out
yes,
more than it needed to be. It was about when would he get eliminated from the Europa League? Will Inter do us a favor? Will Conte do us a favor and eliminate him so we can get the deal done? But I
mm,
eventually got him, so hopefully that's the same situation that happened. So in the end, after all, but that's when we can eventually get him. But we need to probably start stealing some of the interest that Liverpool and teams like that have again.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, with that, I know. Listen, I know our transfer business, and I've said this all along. I know it has been a bit of a frustrating ride up until now in terms of seeing these other clubs strengthening their teams and Chelsea are kind of left behind, which you would not ever imagine because Chelsea are one of the teams, as we all know, is that we always seem to get our transfer business wrapped up. We already know our signings we're going to be bringing in before when the window starts that have already coming in, and we've already got our business sorted out before the deadline. But I think this time around, people got to take into consideration. Obviously, it's the Euros. It's going to take a bit more time. People will say, "Oh, well, Haaland didn't play in the Euros, so why is it taking so long for the Haaland deal to be wrapped up?" Listen, if we all know Dortmund over the years, man, they're not easy sellers. I mean, we saw. I think we saw it with the Jadon Sancho deal, mate. Look how long that took for United to finally get that deal over the line. They were going back and forth last season. It took at least two seasons for them to get that deal over the line, and finally they've managed to pull the deal out now, and they've been successful this season with it. On the situation with Haaland, people going around saying, yeah, they're stubborn sellers, they don't want to sell her. I'll be honest with you, you can bet your bottom dollar bill. As much as Dortmund are holding their stance, they want to sell. They want to get this deal done and wrapped up. They want to sell Holland, and the reason why I say that is because they know how much Chelsea are willing to give for him, and how much he's going to go for next season. And from what I understand is they're finding it very hard to put together a deal to bring this guy from PSV Eindhoven in, this striker by the name of Milk. I can't even pronounce his name. Maybe people in the comments might be able to tell me who it is. But they're finding it hard to even get that deal over the line, despite having the Jadon Sancho money in place. Now, the only reason why that situation is happening is because some of that money has gone to Manchester City. So they're not seeing all of that money for Jadon Sancho because some of that is actually going to Manchester City because of the clause they put in it when they sold him to Dortmund. So that's why they can't go all out, it seems, to go and get this other player on the line. So for me, they all need to get this money for Haaland. If he's only going to be if the owners are not giving any money, for me, Haaland is the only one that they can get the money from a sale of him. Because I understand their midfielder was also up for sale. There were a lot of people going in after. That's the guy. Yes, thank you, RCBN, as always. Yeah, that guy. They couldn't get Malin in, and now there's talk of that they're trying to keep hold of their midfielder as well at Dortmund, which they're confident of doing with him staying. but they still need the money to get this Donnarumma Haaland deal over the line, which they can't do. So they're going to need this money to come from somewhere, and that only somewhere is going to be for the sale of Erling Haaland. So they need that money just as much as we need Haaland at Chelsea. That's how I look at the situation, anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna end it here. It's been a very
Yeah,
interactive stream. I appreciate you for coming on. Lookman was here before, but he had Wi-Fi issues, so he had to leave. So thanks for those who were in the chat. RCB and Bobby
yeah.
and
Big up to
Deep.
everyone.
Yeah. So before you go, yeah, you can plug your social, your Twitter and everything.
Yeah, excellent, Tyrone. As always, thank you for having me on your show. My socials is if you want to follow me, it's DJSav17 at DJSavJ on my Twitter. And in terms of this channel, please follow this channel. Please support Tyrone. He brings some excellent content out. So please continue to do that. And once again, Tyrone, thank you for having me on your show, bro. As always.
Yeah. So yeah. Thanks, guys. That's the end of it. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. My social will be in the will be in the description as well as DJ Sav and look man. RCB, and thanks again for coming on. Bobby's gone now, but if you rewatches this, thank you. But that's it, guys. On peace. See you guys in the
Peace
next
out.
video.
Everyone smash the like button. Peace out. Take care, everyone.